In this video, I will show you what you should not do with your favorite Lego toys. Today we will look at different actions that will spoil or completely destroy your parts or minifigures. Like before watching, and let's get started. You are on the Sewa Parts channel. I think some people have had it happen that you built some kind of MOX or set, put it on a shelf, and then either by accident or with the help of your pets, it all falls to the floor. And in this case, it often happens that parts break and the buildings themselves are essentially destroyed too. Now let's look at more interesting ways to destroy your favorite minifigures. The main thing is not to repeat all this, otherwise the minifigures will not be returned. For example, you can take a fairly powerful laser that can even set a match on fire and try to shine it on a figure. As we see, nothing happens. And unfortunately, even such a powerful laser could not damage the figure in any way. Maybe you need to shine the light on it for a very long time. Of course, you shouldn't shoot at your creations or figures yet. Let's try, for example, to shoot at this Big Ben. To do this, I use different types of Lego weapons, from the most harmless to the more severe. And as we see, Big Ben survived all our attacks. Another one of Lego's main enemies is the vacuum cleaner. Sometimes we build on the floor, and after construction is completed, we do not remove all the parts from the floor. And then when we do the cleaning, the parts may disappear without a trace. And if we clean it ourselves, we can still see the parts on the floor. But if a robot vacuum cleaner gets to work, then there's most likely a minus of parts. Let's see if the robot can handle the figure. Let's also look at a few ways that, let's say, children use. And first of all, this is plasticine. I think he is one of Lego's worst enemies. Children love to cover figures or parts with plasticine, thinking that it is custom. For example, make different armor or weapons, or just stick around completely, thinking that the figure is cold. But this all really spoils the parts, and then it is almost impossible to return the previous appearance. I also have this handgun, and you can try to ruin the figures for her. But unlike plasticine, it causes much less damage to the parts. At first we see that the figurine is covered in chewing gum and it seems that it is ruined, but with the help of the same chewing gum, we can completely clean the figure. You can also use it to try to remove dust from hard to reach places. So, consider this a useful life hack as well. A regular marker will be very unpleasant. Some also use it for custom purposes, but basically, they just spoil the figures or parts. For example, with the goal of making a monochrome figurine. I have a regular black monochrome, but let's try to make it with a marker. Well, almost the same thing. Sometimes it happens that during construction, we do not have enough parts of the required size. For example, here we need a 2x6 plate, but we only have 2x8 or 2x110. So what to do in such a situation? You can just take scissors or a stationary knife and make yourself a piece to size. Oops, apparently this is karma for damaging Lego. Or it happens that you have a regular bricks, but you need a Technic bricks with holes. Well, let's try to make them ourselves using a regular screwdriver. You can also drill through the figure using a screwdriver. Or screw a screw into it. I once showed you a way to remove print from a figure using nail polish remover. And the liquid actually really spoils the parts. But what if you completely fill the figure with a liquid that contains acetone? Pour it in and leave it for a day.
One day later.
Well, the day has passed, let's take out our figurine. You might think that it is made of plasticine, but the acetone has stripped the plastic so much that it is now like plasticine. By the way, another good way to remove print from parts or minifigures is sandpaper. Let's try what comes of it. No, as you can see, the method is not very good. I do not advise. Let's try to take any small creation made from Lego. For example, I took a ball like this and break it with a hammer. Really? The Lego hammer won't help us much in this matter. Therefore, let's try to make a hammer from parts. Now that's another matter. It would not be a very good idea to tie a rope to the figure and drag it along with you, for example, on a scooter. Let's see what happens to her while she drags along the asphalt. The figure is almost intact with only a few scratches. Well, to finish off the figure, you can run over it with the same scooter. And here too, nothing terrible happened. So let's try to move it with a car. The truth is real. The first time the figurine was not particularly damaged. Let's try to stand it. And then there was no chance, the figure was simply flattened. And the parts were scattered all over the area. Another option is to fill the figures with hot glue. It seems to me that he shouldn't spoil the details too much, but they will look cool. Be careful not to get glue on your hand like I did. He's very hot. Now the figure looks like it's in a silicone case, or as if some monster attacked her and covered her in cobwebs. I think many people know that brown and dark red parts are very fragile, and you can break them even just when building your creations. For example, when I was building my World of the Wild West, you can't imagine how many brown parts were broken there. They are so fragile that even a Karate Master minifigure can break them. And finally, probably the most cruel way for our favorite Lego is fire. If after all today's destroy of Lego, the parts could still be restored somehow, then after contact with fire, this is no longer possible. This concludes today's video. Which methods of destruction do you consider the most cruel? Write in the comments. Remember that it is better not to repeat everything that I showed in this video. If you liked the video, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Bye everyone.